Good afternoon, everyone. This is Fari Hemzi from Hemzi Analytics. It's 5:03 p.m. Uh, on January 18th, 2023. This is our weekly PMT meeting, our webinar on proactive market timing. Let me jump into what our housekeeping items are quickly. We record these for the benefit of all because a lot of our members really watch the YouTube channel. The way you get in there, by the way, is right here. You can subscribe to it. There's no cost, and we have about 1,500 people there. Oh wow, 1,540. Okay. And you get these things posted immediately. Good thing about YouTube is it'll alert you when the webinar is posted. Okay. Way before we post it on Twitter or email you. Sometimes I don't get a chance to email. My apologies. It's just that I'm time bankrupt. Hey Anita, how are you? First and foremost, we started. We're active again on PMT. We have a long position. We're going to go over that shortly. We did start also reactivating our option setup. Why? Because it's earnings season, and we're trying not to go through earnings with the position, but do it before and after, unless we are fairly comfortable. Hi Jason, how are you? Welcome. One item that I like is J.P. Morgan, and as you can see here, they did very well until Goldman messed up. This is a swing trade. This is Tesla. We're watching that too, but no play there. I have a lot of friends who are in it, deep from high up. They're just horrible. You could see Jamie talked it down, and this was Friday. This is Goldman, and then today, I don't know what today was, but they sold everything with vengeance. Of course, this is 30 minutes. If you look at the structure here, it's still very positive, above 50. 50 is above 200, so this is what I call birth cross. This is in reverse. This is up here. This is your death cross. Here's the problem. We're getting a death cross on a weekly. So this could be challenged and then pulled back up. In the area of high interest, I like banks and, of course, or relative high interest. It's still nominally we're negative. Still free money, but JPM is one of the best companies ever run. 7th in market cap, I believe, in S&P 500. On NDX is Tesla for 7th, yeah. Also, I've had the privilege of running to Jamie more than once, and he's one heck of a manager. And he deserves what he's done from his days in Chicago in Bank One, and now running the largest bank in the U.S. So we're positive on it. We're long. Our expiration is not. I think we took it. I think Nancy knows what 3 months forward. 3 weeks forward. I think. Yeah. We want to give it a little time. All these names really have a secondary and tertiary move after the earning is up, and so we're going to stay with it for now. Although we're a little bit under pressure. Now we had an outright call. We usually don't do that. We do a spread, but the reason we did the outright call was that vols were low. I was positive on the stock coming into that number. We put our position up, I believe, here, if I'm right. So we didn't take it off before the earning. We sat through it. And early in the morning was a little havoc, but hey, you got to realize market, in aggregate, market is right, even better than the CEO. And that's what market did. This, of course, was Goldman. Goldman being missed, especially compared to, for example, if you look at versus Morgan Stanley, my favorite investment bank. I have a buy side I work for as a consultant. Yeah, my only W2 was Northrop. But the lower and higher echelons of Morgan Stanley are Princeton guys, and so they do their homework. They're hard workers. They don't trade with vengeance like Goldman does. And this time Goldman got beaten up. Sometimes even the big banks makes mistake in trading and so forth. So in addition to this, Morgan Stanley and Goldman are banks now. They're registered banks now. That was a part of deal that Bernanke did post 2008 debacle, saying we will give you the same help that we gave others, but you got to become a bank. So that the regulator is sitting there, and I think they're not very active on the banking side. And thank God. I was the other day at the B of A, and the part of it platform was B of A. The other part was Merrill, and these guys were I don't know. That's not the same culture I'm used to on the investment banking side that I saw. So, but the herd is gone. The herd, which was the group of big money makers of Merrill, they're gone. So that's all. You know, change is constant in the universe. Two things are constant in the universe: speed of light and change. These two we're always going to have. And you know, change is good. It actually clears the system, it clears the fog, and gets rid of the fat. And so that's where we are. We did not play Wells Fargo. We didn't play B of A. We usually do Goldman, Morgan Stanley, or and JPM. I was a little bit bewildered between the two on Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs. And I took none. So, and usually Goldman beats Morgan Stanley in terms of percentage change for that day, for the earning day. This was the reverse. So more power to them. Here's Morgan Stanley. Okay, and you could see it really jumped up and held its value, even today, down pressure market. My own trading today, I didn't do too well. I made a mistake early on and then tried to defend it and trade with vengeance, and that's never pays off. So, but remember, once it's on the chart, it's already history. So it's easy to talk about the chart. Okay, the key thing is what you're doing when it's live. So that was now PMT had an order that went out. We're long. Here's our chart. We post this. We do not post our trade, but we post this. And that's what we have done. All-time high now. But this doesn't have today yet. This is a timestamp of yesterday morning. Yeah. Here's the, and I could not be accurate per se because I believe we were a little bit higher even later on. But today, obviously, we're going into trouble. So we have to update that. But here's our trade. Okay. And 37.80 is still holding. We have not gone that far down. Let's look at and that was a signal level. We just don't take any price. We look at naturally what the chance it has. 38.70, I believe. Is that what it was? So that's -1 sigma. We've come down quite a bit though. It's dangerous. But it is where we are. So I learned over the past that you just deal with reality. You deal with good, bad, and ugly. And that's where we are. So we have dropped quite a bit today. We'll see. Target is 40.40, which is our target. I would not suggest you get into this trade. It's too late. Why? The delta, the theta, the vols are all changed since this was put out. So there's a timer stamp on it when it's run out. That's what you want to get in. I talked about options. Now, best and foremost, let's talk about ORB. We did release 4.88. I think it's version 104. We had a huge issue in November, partly caused by the market sideways, partly we have too many people. October, we had one heck of a month. I'll show you on the payoff curve. No, not from the login. Hold on, let's go to product. Yeah. Go to a product. If you open up there, you can see what happened. This was October. And a lot of people came in. Our system got saturated. It could not scale properly. So I had to hire a new programmer. And with a request from the first one saying, Barry, let's get someone else to look at it. Why? We were at around 1,700 lines of code here. And new one engaged in per recommendation of TSI. TSI is TradeStation Institutional. We're now with two system houses in Chicago, Fox and Striker. Fox trades direct through TSI. The Striker trades through translation. So obviously you want to be with Fox. And the head of TSI called me and says, I recommend this guy. He came in and he's been wonderful. He made a couple of mistakes himself by not being a cowboy, but not really looking at everything, the details and all that. And then the first programmer was busy on the other side project. They didn't talk enough. Last Saturday, I sat them down. We had a little discussion. And I was very frank. And I said, listen, my name is on the door. Been around 25 years. People expect differently from me. And we've got to get back to our days. Two changes came out. That's why we get to 1.04. First is that we turned off IOG. That is, as a matter of fact, you'll see it here, and we updated our timeline. The last system backtest we had shown there was in 4.67, because we were in that transition. There were some issues, so it didn't make sense to put a system to backtest on. But you could see what we went through. 4.7, we made it very high efficient. Didn't change anything on the code. So it was just to make the code really, really efficient, rather than having, I think, 9 or 10 modules. We went down to 3. Okay. We found a lot of bug fix on 4.8, and we streamlined a little bit more. And then, because we got into trouble, we got a 4.85 up. We removed IOG and intra-bar order generation. This is within the bar to decide. Okay. The problem is that we have massive number of orders going up, cancel, replace, and we have size on. So you're adding size to number of orders. We really, really bombed PlayStation API. I've said to their face, I'm not afraid of that. Some of you guys who own that program, you know that. You deal with me in the chat room daily, and you know when I'm frustrated. But it takes time. Now we're at 2,384 lines of code. Hi, Tom. How are you, sir? 2,384 lines, almost 2,400 lines. It's not a joke. One semicolon, if it's comma, may change the ballgame. You really have to spend time on this. Okay? So, on January 16th, we released the production version of 4.8 with a bunch of stuff added, including not allow you to touch IOG. We had a gentleman who had done and touched that. He had different results. He says, Fari, why is it not doing what I'm seeing in the chat room? I said, I can't tell. There are a lot of settings. This is TradeStation. You're in a 747 cockpit. You touch something. Talk to the program and goes, yeah, we can eliminate. I went to his machine with a team viewer, looked at it, I saw it immediately. Went to the program, I said, can you lock this out? They said, yeah, we can. So we locked it out so you cannot touch it. Because it's like a hot stove. Your mom says, don't touch it, but you want to touch it. You want to test it. My little sister, she got a couple of her hands burnt because she wouldn't listen. Well, now she does. So we turned that off, and that 4.88 is out. The good news is, and then we put the XLS out there for you guys last night. Now, one more thing. We're on version, oh geez, what version are we in? I don't think we discussed it here, do we? I think we should. I'll make sure we add something here. It is, when you go to material, when you go to install, it tells you. This is what you really need. When you go to the landing page, it says you need system update 67. We also stopped supporting version 9.5. We can't. It's too big. It's too big. We can't deal with the past. Watched the other day Hunt for October. Okay, and Marcus Ramius, played by Sean Connery, is the captain of the Russian Boomer, the ballistic missile Typhoon class. He says a good story. He says when Cortez landed in New York, he burned his ships. So his commanders could not go backward. That's what we did. We closed 9.5. And we informed the striker. We said, we're no longer, this is in December. We said, as of January 1st, we're no longer going to support. Every month we issue a software key. Just remember, your software key is not going to work on 9.5. It's only going to work on 10. And because of our results, they scrambled. Next thing you know, all of a sudden they have version 10. We're running version 10. We're ready for you. I said, okay. Well, here's the code. Test it. Give me the results. Let me look at it before I okay. They said, yeah, sure. And guess what? Before I used to chase them, now they're chasing me. It's called acceptance. When you're doing 80% a month, people find a way to follow the instructions rather than asking the stupid questions. Well, no question is stupid, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, so we're using 67. The reason I got to this is that notice here in our trade disclosures, you'll see that we no longer provide what's called MHT. MHT was a file structure from Microsoft. It gives you the same feel, or maybe it was made by TradeStation. I really don't know. I've never seen anywhere else. But it allows you to open a TradeStation results. Okay, let's see. Do we have one? Oh, in his native form. The problem is most browsers can't comply with that. So we had a lot of issues on that. What do we do with what do we do with we cannot open this up? Well, I don't have that choice anymore. TradeStation took care of that. One of the updates, because we hadn't posted, last time I had to deal with, all of a sudden I noticed I don't have that option and I save it. They only allow you to save it in the XLS, which is the 365, I believe, series of Office. You click that up, you get that, boom, you get all the details, you have tabs and everything. So you and you can do whatever you want here. Just save it so you can have it editable. You can add whatever else you want, but it gives you all the data what the machine has done. Okay, it is a 10x system. That's what $12,000 did. Okay, we've been pretty much around 10x. No matter what we change, it goes back to 10x, around it plus or minus. Why? It's robust. We have very low number of degrees of freedom. That's essential. We do not do a curve fit. If you do a curve fit, it looks good to you for the data you're looking at. No. You can't. Remember, there's a lot of noise in this daily. It has to think for itself. It has to look at the logic. It has to do the best it can, rather than an exact return. If you're looking for exact return, that's a time bomb you've created. Believe me, I've done that. I've burned my hands. Number of reasons. I was novice. I was using TradeStation indicators. Also, TradeStation was very poor in backtesting compared to now. That we had no intro bar look back. There were a lot of issues there. And the order that order comes is crucial live. But when you do a backtest, it's a chart that you already have in front of you. You would have trouble with that. Okay. So we're still accepting some, not many, some for backtesting. If you like to come here, free trial, and it's on our webpage. Send us a note there, and then there are a couple of things you need to fill in. A couple of guys said, why are you asking these questions? I said, because I can. If you want to be involved in this is the stuff we need. There is a non-disclosure you have to sign immediately. And there's also this other website anyway for when you sign up. We need a questionnaire. The reason questionnaire is to see whether this is fit for you or not. Believe me, it's not. Remember, this is for 747 cockpit. It's not the issue of. It's not an issue of what you know. It's what your experience is and whether futures are for you or not. And believe me, we don't turn anybody away. We just guide them to do other things until they're ready to come back. Okay, and then they come back. We're grateful because they understand. This is a very, very sharp edge. If you don't, the knife is very sharp. If you don't know what you're doing, and you don't understand TradeStation, chance of getting into trouble is not easy. Chance of getting into trouble is very low, very high. It's very easy to get into trouble. Remember, you still have to sit in front of a machine. If you don't want to sit in a machine, write me a note. We'll get you to Fox, and the Fox can trade it for you. Okay. 1 unit is 3 contracts. Always. We move multiples of 3. Why? Our exits are, this is the best way to manage exits. So there's a whole logic and experience in it over years past. Plus, I have the privilege of working with two of the smartest guys I know in easy language. One of them was there 25 years, the other one 15, of which the last 9 years they worked together. You couldn't ask for a better combo. And I do feel I'm very lucky, and you guys are very lucky for being in that program with me. That's just a fact. Okay. All right, that's our housekeeping. I talked too much. I apologize. Let's get to Econ Calendar. All right. We have a short week. NBA mortgage apps came in. PPI final came in, and retail sales. So let's go through them. And also industrial production. Bullard speak today. These are green reports. That's it. We'll go over these quickly. We have housings tomorrow. That's crucial at 8:30. Of course, jobless claim, and then Philly Fed, which is Mid-Atlantic. Okay. Brainerd speaks. And then Friday, we have existing home sales. They will never leave us alone. They want these data points. Creates havoc, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, NBA apps. I'm going to look at this because I have too many trader friends here who their wives are in mortgages, and they don't know what to think down here, and they think things are not that bad and we should be okay. I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Why? The delay in interest rates impact on the economy. Markets react faster than the economy does, and so at the beginning the impact is very low because the actual cost of money is still very low. But as we get to full force of what Fed is about to do, then it's going to be painful for a lot of different sections or sectors of the economy. Okay, what? Okay, we're up nicely there. Okay, so some purchases are coming in and refinancing because rates dip down. Yeah, okay. All right, I get it. Okay, it was very quiet and now we've jumped. All right, good. I understand. But this will not sit here. I'll promise you. The refinance, especially refinance index. PPI final demand. Let's take a look at that. Anita, who's here with us, she's out of London, suburb of London, and she posts for us in the chat room. I appreciate all you do for us, Anita. Unfortunately, today I did not see all of it, so it kind of rolled up too fast. Month to month was between -1, was 3 last time, was -5. So this should be good for the market. Actually, early on we rallied up, and then the peak was there was a massive selling at 10:12 Eastern. Yeah, that started to move down. Yeah. Okay. Again, PPI year to year was 7.4. 6.8 consensus came to 6.2. Also better. X-Fuel and Energy 0.4, 1 on 1. That is in line. This is almost in line for year to year. X-Food and Energy and Trade Services lower, and there was no estimate here. 4.6. Okay. At the margin, we have seen the peak interest rate. This data tries to support. It's not my opinion. I'm not an economist. Not that smart. All right. All right, retail sales, very crucial. 0.6, wow, revised down, I'm sorry. Revised down to 0.6 to full 1%. Consensus was 0.8, and we dropped 1.1. Wow. That's probably what caused some of the problem. But that was 8.30 though, interesting. Again, pressure on Fed to ease up a little bit. X vehicle, 0.1, 1.1 versus half. Yeah, that's also lower. All right. But almost double the size. And then X vehicles and gas also dropped pretty strongly versus the consensus. And then we had revised down. Yeah. We knew the retail sales were not good for the holidays. We knew that. That's something new. Industrial production. Then I'm going to look at inventory, and that's it. I don't care about these other guys. Yeah, let's look at industrial production. That came at 9:15. All right, 0.2 prior, revised downward is bigger number negative. 0.1, and we hit 0.7, much bigger downward move than the consensus. So they're easing up. The interest rate pressure is coming in. Why? Inventories. So less ordering is happening for the industrial orders. Manufacturing output, 0.6, dropped to 1.1, consensus 0.2. It's down 1.3%. Yeah, slowing down. Yeah, I think at 9:15. Cap utilization, 79.4, 99.88. We came also a little bit lower here. All right, understand. Got it. All right, then business inventories. Let's see. This probably, where's my mouse? Come on. Probably ballooned. Yeah. Came in consensus, but bigger than before. Yeah. Rose to 0.4. That's again normal. given what we're going through. All right, this is this Treasury Capital. Oh, Beigebook. Ooh, we got Beigebook to that too. Let's take a look at that. Sorry, I missed that completely. What the hell? No write up on it? Oh, wow. Okay, I guess we have to. Oh, it probably came in on email. Yeah, from Fed. So not here. All right, I get it. Okay. Housing starts, huge number tomorrow. This is crucial. Plus permits. By the way, there's a book on Amazon, How America Reaches Economic Health. It deals with these reports. You need to take a look at it if you're serious on the future side. If you're see future trader, either bonds or indices, you need to take a look at it. Starts 1.4, consensus 1.36. This is the range. Okay, below the prior. Now tomorrow we'll get the revisions. So always look for revisions. Why? Most of these time series are not precise. They're a little bit noisy. And as more data comes in, especially prior data, and gets sorted out, the number settles. You want to know what the settlement is. And usually we're a month or two behind. Okay, permits 1.34, consensus 3.8, and also right kind of in the middle of that range. So is this one. So keep these two. This I think is the biggest critical data point tomorrow. Not worry about jobless claims. It's just going to be 240 range probably. Let's see what they're thinking. Econo Day does a bunch of interviews with economists, and they put averages here as a consensus. Okay, they think it's going to uptick a little bit in that range. Again, middle of the range. All right. Philly Fed, Mid Atlantic. Yeah, this is crucial. By the way, the Philly Fed follows Admiral Tico. So your question to yourself should be: do you follow Admiral Tico? Chicago Fed and Philly Fed does. Don't ask me why. I don't know. So, all Tico talks about is the steak dinners. So, well, no, he gives him some steak. You know what he said about Tesla back in May? Oh, well. 13.8 prior. 10 consensus. Okay, well, this one thinks that we could do a little bit better. We shall see. We're going to be near 10-ish or near 8. We'll see. We'll see. I think it's going to be more around 13. But what do I know? I just got off the boat, remember? And yeah, the girl asked in Miami. This is at Blue Martini. Cute blonde, yeah, in Miami, yeah. All right, existing home sales. Listen, trading is a lonely business. You got to have a little laughs here and there. I made a comment today to a big trader in Chicago. Didn't get it. He got upset. Then he called me back. He says, "You know what? I get it now." I said, "What? 4 hours later?" Hopefully, you do better with that non-farm payroll data. Hey, he's good. He's good. It's actually one of the sharper guys I know. 4.09 mil on the existing home sales. Consensus 397. Get a little bit lower. And this, yeah, we down here though prices have dropped. Okay, not as bad as a Case-Shiller. Case-Shiller 20 top markets in the U.S. shows you. I think that people are misreading it. I don't think there's going to be a crash here in real estate, but I know it's going to come down. Why? We went up too fast. We went up way too fast. So it's got to adjust. And money's not that cheap as it used to be. It's still free money, but not cheap. Okay, free money in the sense that it, adjusted for inflation, it still is a negative rate. So that's free money, but not cheap. So this guy get adjusted for that. Month to month -7. I'm no. Wow. Oh wow. Year to year was 35. Holy mackerel. Yeah. All right. Remember, this is crucial on first time buyers. That's what fuels the economy. You know, the newlyweds, college grads who managed to get some money saved up, or father helping them, or mother as a gift, and then buy. This is what moves the market up in real estate. First time home buyers. And we need that. The problem with that is Dodd-Frank and the student loans. They're not, they're a big, heavy chain around everybody's the new home buyer's ankle, neck. So sometimes ankle too. So anyhow, so we got a bunch of stuff this week related to real estate, and one key item tomorrow is what's left of this week is Philadelphia Fed. Give me that landing. That's huge. Okay. I need to go and take a look at this later on today, Facebook, because I get the Fed. You can sign up. Go to federalreserve.gov, and you can sign up on emails. They get a little bit too many, but it's good to know. All right, let's go through charts. Any questions on Econ calendar? All right. We said we have a rendezvous with destiny at 4,000. We're off a bit. Look what's happened. So we hit 4,000 on Friday. 4034. Let's say 404. We've been up slightly higher to 415, and we're pulled back sharp today. So this is not good. So I'll probably cut off here somewhere. I don't want to sit back to a pullback, but we'll see. If by Friday we're not above 200 day, we got problems. We got problems. So we're already at 50 bar. So this was a huge move today. 62 handles, huge. So be warned. We have a cross there on CI. McLaren also. Oh, let me refresh these. Make sure that are these two are fun. These two get affected without a control R by the settlement data. So you have to do a control R. Okay. Brett Trust has pulled back. This was very hard. Usually it stays up there on secondary and tertiary, but there's also now is both econ and earnings. Obviously, nobody was happy with Goldman, especially the people who work there now, because from what I understand, the bonuses this year are going to be very small, which has a big impact in Manhattan market, the economy. So, not just Goldman, but overall, all of them. Okay. Canaries in a coal mine. Big reversal. Big intraday reversal and outside more with the dots. That's from transportation. That means, yeah, Dow and S&P are in trouble. This is not good, at least from the trajectory they were in. Russell says, hey, I'm going to sell some, and you can see what happened on the CIDF. And that's going to impact not utilities per se, but the NDX, and sure did. That was testing 50 bar. So tomorrow could be a decision day for us on PMT. If we exit PMT with Diamond Digest, your instructions are written very clear. Your instructions are to close the position on the options and the cash at once. You do not ask for what if. You do not ponder. You don't sit there like a duck. You exit. Are we clear on that? Because my chance is probably get a chance to send a note out and say, we're covering our position with Time and Digest, but they're going to give us the close value of SPX. If you're right to the middle of the day, you're going to give you the close. If I want to get this value, 3928, I've got to close tonight. I think before midnight. So you get it tomorrow, you got to jump out of the position that you're in if you're a PMT member. Okay? If you're not a PMT member, do not touch that trade. You're going to be playing with fire. We've had a couple of the guys done that, and they were very upset. And I said, and they admit it was their fault. They wasn't blaming me, but they, it's called greed. So unfortunately, they were still in a fog, and they got themselves into a bigger fog. So don't do that. Okay. Long, weekly, and daily long. We haven't had one of these in a while. As you know, this is just like a turtles. It's a the trend following model. It has very little in there. It's vanilla. It is not supposed to look at anything else. Why? Because we want to see it by itself. We don't want to be too clever. We just want to see if you were doing a pure turtle trader process, which is long, let's say John Henry does, the owner of Red Sox. He built a business, multi-billion-dollar business just on that. You want to see what that system looks like. Obviously, he has improved that quite a bit. And I'm sure at his budget, he can afford many AI PhDs. So But basically, that's how he started. We just want to know what trend following tells us by itself. No other input. Why? Because we have other indicators. But we want to look at purely. That's why people ask, why can't I just get this online? We don't offer that. This is not shipped out. This is not part of any of our packages. Just internal use only. We want to know purely what this does. All right. Again, you see what's happening on the weekly, kind of sideways. Balls are dropping a little bit on the weekly. We have decent size new highs and very little new lows. It's all constructive. We pulled back because this is a heavy move, advanced decline. This is a modified advanced decline, and that's some filters. So the scale means nothing. It's actually the scale is there to confuse you. It's the scrambled. What matters is the shape. So that sigma count, we're +1, but shooting down from +2. Okay. And now we're neutral, near zero on the Momo. Momo range is +10 and -10. -10 usually is a good bounce. We get down here, we got a lot of trouble. And we had it back then. You know. Matter of fact, you saw the divergence. Price actually went lower. Okay. But this thing pulled up saying we're nearing the lows, maybe that's the low. Now we're going to come and test this. Remember, we're in a world now that a lot of changes are coming at us every day. A lot of systems are having issues. It's not easy. I can tell you, it hasn't been easy for me either. So, all right, VIX. Let's go through VIX and VXN. And what we show you here is the sigma chart. Again, these are long. The tail shouldn't be this long on these bars, but nobody's listening at SIBO. And they don't have an answer. Let me put this way. This is vol of the vol, volatility of the vol itself. Okay. I was mentored on this by Whaley, Robert Whaley, who did the original VIX, which is this protocol, and that protocol, not this one. This was made by SIBO, and they lost them. But this came out, because that was used to be called for S&P 100. This is for S&P 500. And this could be manipulated easily if you understand the construct. If you read their spec, you'd see, because the way they look at the volume of different strikes and count that in, you have a hodgepodge. But unfortunately, that's all people look at. So, and the volume is here. So, but all that being equal, all that being said, we hit the -3 sigma. We bounced up a little bit. We have outside bar. The next target is 2114. Let's say 2120, because these are going to move as we get there. Then we got to watch it. So you may want to put a 2120 target on your phone to alert you. Okay. We could be there this week. I don't know. Or we could just roll back down. Get near it and then roll back down. If the earnings come better than expected. As of last night, and I've talked about it today in the chat room, we have a spike up in skew. So some big boys are buying deep in the money, deep out of the money put options. Remember, it's a tail risk but to a downside only. It's not both tail risk. Each normal distribution has two tail risk. This is the downside where panic comes in. And we use that as a signal for our shorts. We're not there. It was actually very quiet. Now beginning to pull up. As we gone up, looks like some activity down here being registered by SIBO. This is computed by them. It's posted late in the day. Usually after close, about an hour or so. Treasuries. Okay. Ooh. Dude. Okay. Treasuries, is this today? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's today. Pretty long tail there and recovered. Rates are going up. That's on the front end. At longer term, they're dropping, so you can see the curve. Okay, we're still making new highs. These are 7-year highs. Why 7? Because 2 or 3 is not enough. We had turmoil. You've got to cover and go back to normal days like 2019, 2018, well, 2017 and 2019. You got to get those in the data to get this ATH all-time high that's plotting. It doesn't matter what was 20 years ago. That's BS. You need to really just look at a few years back. I prefer 7. When I was doing 2 and 3, it would give me a wrong signal. But if you could see, we're still hovering around new highs for 7. Not the case on the longer part of the curve. So you have an inverted curve. This is telling us there's a recession coming. I think it's going to be a mild one, but I don't think you can rule it out. That's going to be no recession. The problem we have still is wage inflation. Yeah. And I don't like the way Fed is approaching it by getting people in the point where they get laid off. That's not a solution there. And it impacts the tax base, but then it could be a spiral. Yeah, it could be an unusual year this year. Now, presidential cycle, third year is always positive. Well, not always, but 99.9% is positive. Why? It's a dress up. The current incumbent administration always dresses it up so that and someone who's extra spending so that the economy looks good by the time we hit general elections, presidential elections in the 4th year. We're on the 3rd year now. This is supposed to be a good year. We'll see if the data works that out. Unfortunately, we're going to only set in a rear mirror, which will be next year this time. So we're going to keep you in suspense. How's that? Welcome to Wall Street. Exactly. Okay. We had an issue here, this morning. We were using the F contract. As you noticed, of course, this data is not showing it because market closed. You see it, timestamp, yeah. At 6 is going to reopen, and you're going to see the volume has shifted. Either they expired now, or they're about to expire next week. So the big money, smart money, is already moved to G. So lead contract is G for this calculation. For the spread, it's a 3-month spread. So we're going to be long G, which is Feb, and then short K, which is May, 3 months. And now this is the correct value. We're at 9.5, and it makes sense. We dropped so hard today that this should be the value. This part is correct. It was a little bit weird because one leg was down. I don't think it was trading today, F22. I think it may have sold this morning. Okay, this wants to back up. I'm not going to back up now. We need the data. All right. I have a 6 o'clock coming up. I've got to rush. Plus, give you a chance for questions. So, what does negative 1.5 means? It means, first of all, it's a near neutral area where the sigma channel is, zero sigma is. Neutral right now, but also in the shape of things, not just the short term. This is a 15 minute. Let's go to 30 for a second. It won't change it much. There we go. Yeah. A little bit on the upside, a little bit uppy on the 30 minutes. Most money managers look at 30 minutes anyway, and most large professional futures traders look at 30 minutes. And more than yesterday in Q, by the way, because this is 80% of US equities. So, when we get to 0, it's a long way. That's the low. Okay, that's a long way. We're at -2. When it gets around -3, -4, between 3 and 4 negative, that's the top. And we may have done that short-term wise. Okay, this is very good for picking up the bottoms. I did an article that was the most read article on Cboe blog. Unfortunately, I'm not sure where it is. They changed so much over there. They had a girl that she was very, very awesome. I forgot, Holly something. Didn't agree with her thinking sometimes, but she knew weblog marketing. She knew that. She got tired. Yeah. She left. So the whole place is a mess over there, the blogs. I haven't written anything new for them. So nor do I have time. Usually I would write one article a year. Not into writing about current events once a week. I don't do that. Just don't have the time. Or the energy or the know-how. I'm not that. I'm event driven. Same thing with PMT. We have event driven. We had a gentleman at PMT who signed up, was here 1 week, then he came back and says, your website says this, we're going to do that. I said, have you looked at the YouTube post? He goes, no, I don't have time for that. Your website this. I said, listen, we've updated some stuff. We'll go and update the website too, but this is what we're doing. And the reason is we have to be event driven. He goes, no, I want to trade them a week. I said, I'm sorry. So I told Matt, my PayPal assistant, I said, you know what, refund him. He goes, how much? I said, refund the whole thing. Get him out, block him. Boom. I don't want to deal with him. He's somewhere else. Okay, listen, I'm a timer of the decade. There's a reason I got there. I know what to look for, and I know what works. Over 10, 15 years I've been in Diamond Digest. I can't change my ways because he wants this or he wants that. So that was it. Not here to argue. Don't have time. Sorry. I have a bigger mission I'm on, and we're going to use what works. We're not going to experiment with you. You're not a guinea pig. We're going to use what works. And so this guy was just somewhere else. Now, I realize some point mistake is mine. That page should be a little bit clear. That one will, and we have to give a link to YouTube and all that. But nobody else has complained. They want to make their money. This guy was, picking, as I say it down here, picking a needle out of a spaghetti, with the what do you call it, with the what do you call it, the noodles, the spaghetti. I forget I forget the name. Dennis, help me out here. Spaghetti. So it's got the spaghetti plus the sauce. He's trying to find a needle in there. So, pasta. Yeah, pasta. That's the new name. Yeah, as Seinfeld reminds us. Yeah, it's pasta and the sauce. He's trying to looking for a needle in there. Good luck. I mean, come on. So, anyhow, let's get to SP2. I think that's probably what you hear. Most of you guys I know coming for SP2, and I would do the same thing. I look at this several times a day. Pre-hard drop. What happens here is key at 0. If you cannot hold this 50 area, not 0, I'm sorry, 50 area, you're going to see 25 in a hurry. And then that's a flush, usually down here. This is your fear, this is your greed. We came out of greed and we dropped. So, we talked about 4,000. It was actually, Tico says, I can see 4,000 from my house. Visually, to be exact, yes. Visually. From, yes. Robert Frank, yeah. Visually was the one with Kramer. Yeah, yes. Anyhow, Admiral Tico, at Admiral _TIKO. I don't know why you're not following it. You should. Actually, there's a link to him on the website. We'll make it easy on you. Go to TradeStation. Check. You go to PMT, PMT Pro. Here it is. Executive Officer is Admiral Tico. That means the second guy in command. And here he is. The whole 9 pounds of him. And he's in charge. Absolutely. Look what he said in 2020. Could be time of the decade. And we were. By January 20th, I was named time of the decade. So he saw it coming. So, anyhow. So he came out and said, I see 4,000 from my house. Somewhere in here. This is new. Systems are good. That's not. You can see here's a 3.59. Yeah, that's Cigar Babe. That's just a friend of mine. Came in line. It should be somewhere in here. I see that from my house. I RT that myself. So there you go. There you go. Remember Sarah Palin? This is a reference to Sarah. I can see that. And then, of course, he says, this time I didn't use the bucket truck. That's a reference to, what do you call it? Norseman, one of my buddies here. He's incredible. Anyhow, make sure you follow Admiral Tico at Admiral _Tico. He trades in the crude, Tesla, PMT, of course, which means SPY, ES, SPX. He's very good with Google. He's killed Apple a couple of times. But his best record has been Tesla and Amazon. So make sure you follow him. There's no charge for this. All right. So moving forward, we have it now. We're still not done here. This is an unfinished business. We're having a rendezvous point up here. If these two are already up to pull back down, we got trouble. But if we have any relief from any of the EPSs and guidance, remember, it's not just a number, it's a guidance. Then you're going to see the right one shoot up. You can run these as a part of our package, where the code is public, We just made it into TradeStation, but it's written by Tushar Chandler. One of the greatest books to read, and you would for indicator design, and you'd see why CI was needed. Where this stopped, CI started, and that gave me the clue to do CI. And 20 years later, still talk of town. Everybody loves CI. So, okay, let's see how we did today here. What time is it? I got to hustle. 5:53. Okay. All right. We did not get flushed. 84. We did not get to negative 90. Okay. These are 60 minutes. That's fine. And we haven't had a big update either. If you really think about this, this is Larry gives us. We've been meandering between the two levels, fear and greed. No big wins and no big loss. We could be in this for a while. Okay. Now, here's another part of the puzzle. This is the BPI, Buying Power Index. They're all on the buy still. Peter wrote this and helped me to get this set up, allows me to use it. I'm Peter Cook. I'm grateful to him. He's moderator in the chat room. He himself says he loves the longs. At the close, let me read to you. I just bought ES here around 3945. That's at 4:01 p.m. He had talked about before the close. Cash was there, Frank was there, so on and so forth. And Anita was there, Nancy was there, said that he had a signal that he thinks this is a bullish, and be ready for me to buy at the close. And he went in, he has at 4:01 p.m., 1 minute after the cash market close, about 39.45. Exit is going to be the next time there is a close greater than prior day's high. Prior day's high. Okay, so that's his gig. Right? And this is one of his inputs, so it's still long. This work was done by Larry Research with our departed friend Paul Desmond. What a great gentleman! I knew him a little briefly, but very, very quite a scholar. He used to come to our mask meetings in LA. I do miss him. He's done some great work. Okay, IBs. Here's what we did today. Today was a slaughterhouse. You can see what happened there. The two separations there between the revap and the MBS, and then we took levels out like there was no tomorrow. And of course, at the close, what did I say, guys? I want to get out of this. They're gonna close it near the lows. Look what they did. They closed it near the lows. That's why you have such a solid bar. This is overnight right now. Are we open yet? No. That's why we close at 5 p.m. And I'm not gonna go Tiger Shark. Sorry, that's classified. I know Frank, you want to see that. I know Craig wants to see that, but no dice. Any questions for me? I'm sorry it's a short meeting, relatively, because I really got to get on a couple of calls at 6. CMAC, glad to see you here. CMAC, remember, 488 update 1.04 went out. Okay, update 1.04. So let me just show that here quickly. Hold on, let me engage this for a second so you know what the. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Toygon. Let me bring this out of the way. I want to see the capture here so people know. This is crucial, okay? Let me engage the system. Okay, on. Okay, and then on. Okay, hold on 1 second. It engages. Okay. Okay. Here's what you need to see. This is the trade. This is the system. It doesn't trade on Wednesdays. That's why it's got a red line. This is what you want to see. 488 version 04, 1.04. You have to see 04. Then you have the current one. And when you put that in, and you see that, the priors are automatically wiped out. Why? Because we don't want to mix and match. Some guys were running an indicator from one version with a strategy of another, with the authentication of another one. I'll give you a hint. This one guy was Roman. I don't know how they did that. They just put it in there, schlepped it in there, looks good, and they run it. And they get all kind of results. And that's not the way to do things. Thank you, Jason. Honored to have you. Thank you, Mr. Petrucci. Please buy something. Mr. Petrucci is still keeping some liras from pre-Maastricht Treaty. So I'll keep on telling him the storage cost. Yeah, well, who listens? All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up if there are any questions. As always, an honor to be with you. I mean that. And because it challenges me, they said, Richard Feynman, the guy who worked with Ed Teller at Princeton on the hydrogen bomb, he said, if you want to learn something, go teach it. Okay, if you want to learn something, go teach it. Why? Teaching is not an easy problem. There's all kinds of stuff coming at you. And I don't mean one-time teaching. I'm talking about teaching on a regular basis, like what we do here, chit chat and go over things and share. I learn a lot from you guys, and also it corrects my ways, and I'm a better trader as a part of that. I couldn't do this on a vacuum with myself. I got to do it with you guys. So I appreciate you guys spending time coming in, and it's a pleasure to work with you. Talk to you guys soon. Be well. Have a great evening. This concludes our meeting here. It's going to be posted on GoToMeeting shortly. Thank you and good night.